float that question out. Why has Kemp Alderman not already been pitching? Can I temper that just a touch? I don't think it's an unreasonable question. It was 3 outs.
Strikeouts.
Against Alcorn State.
It was.
For a guy with no real pressure whatsoever. I'm not doubting Kemp Alderman on anything. He's kind of proven that he's good. He was a good pitcher in high school, great athlete, hits the baseball a million miles. But not always being a good pitcher in high school translates to being a good pitcher in college.
No, it doesn't. It's funny to me to see how good he could be if he were to focus on it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what do you want to do? You want to take his bat out of the lineup?
No.
You want to focus on him being
other teams
pitcher?
have guys that hit and also pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, is he a plus defender that you've got to have him in the field? No, you DH him and pitch him. I mean, is anybody
going into a pretty good defender too?
He is, but is anybody going to draft him because of his fielding prowess? No, it's because he's a giant and he doesn't strike out either. That's the crazy thing about his numbers this year. He's hitting 360 with 25 strikeouts.
A power hitter doesn't strike out as much as he does.
He's got 25 Ks. He's got double double the hits and double the RBIs, or almost double the hits and double the RBIs as he does strikeouts. So that's what's going to get him drafted at the next level.
That's something Keith Kessinger and I talked about during the broadcast on Tuesday night. He laid off a slider in the dirt. And I said, to me, that's the biggest area of growth. And, no question. Yeah. 2 years ago, he chases that pitch. He goes down on strikes. As it was, he worked the at-bat, ends up getting a base hit or walk or whatever and gets on base.
Productive at-bat.
Very productive at-bat because he's become more selective, and he lays off the stuff that's out of the zone.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's never going to swing and miss at a slider. It happens. But it's not every time that a pitcher throws something up there that's got a little bit of spin and a little bit of movement, he misses it by 8 inches plus 2 feet because it's in the other batter's box. It's not that kind of chase anymore. It's impressive. So you want to run him out there Friday night? Ole Miss needs 3 outs to finish it off against Mississippi
State.
Maybe
not Friday night, but, you've got a handful of midweeks left, and if the injuries keep piling up, which they, apparently they got some good news about the 2 guys that Mike Bianco talked about yesterday, but, how many options do they have?
Not a ton.
They really don't have many. I'm curious to see if he saw enough to give him some more run at lower stakes, because – you don't have many options, and the options you do have haven't exactly provided a whole lot for you.
So here's something that stands out to me, though. Mike Bianco has shown in his career that he is willing to allow guys to play 2 ways, right? Yep. Stephen Head's the biggest example. He was elite as a left-handed pitcher because of an unworldly good changeup. It wasn't because of his fastball. He was 89 to 92 with his fastball, but his changeup, it was unhittable almost. Yeah. But he was also an elite hitter, and he was an elite defender at first base, and so you took advantage of that. I tend to think if this coaching staff, who over the course of the 3 years that he's been there have had times when they needed pitching, I tend to think if they thought that was anything other than an option of last resort, they would have tried it, and maybe have in practice settings and haven't seen what they needed to see.
Why was it necessary last night?
Because they got nobody. They're playing 2 midweek games this week. They played on Tuesday. They're playing on Wednesday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and had 2 guys that were not available last night, okay. Braden Jones and Mitch Morrell that we talked about, in addition to the fact that you had thrown 2 other bullets out of the bullpen on Tuesday night.
So what are you going to do on Sunday?
I don't know. Maybe Kemp Alderman will start.
Maybe not start, but heck, man, you might see him. I was so impressed with how it looked, considering he doesn't pitch. 94 and located well. I don't know, man. It just seems like there's more to him than just a home run hitter.